The New England Patriots just showed their true colors in a gritty win against the Falcons. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. On the daily Patriots content, don't miss out. All you got to do is subscribe, notification bell, boom, hit the like button, especially after the 7th win in a row. Big dub for the Patriots. Regardless if it was a little ugly or not, a win is a win in the NFL. It goes as a W in the win column. We move on. It's beautiful. We will take it. And hey, Mama Jennings, if you're watching, Terrell Jennings into the end zone, as well as our boy Stephon Diggs. A lot of things we got to talk about today, and there's a lot of good things, okay? And I know you probably looked at the title of this and thought, okay, he's going to dog on this team. Let me say this first and foremost, before we jump into any of the stats, any of the drives, any of the analytics, this is what I want to say. A team that can go out there in a game where, I will tell you this, I thought it was going to get away from the Falcons really quick. When the score was 21-7, I thought it was basically over for the Falcons. And then we had the fumble, and then they scored right after. And then it somewhat went downhill. Not somewhat. It went downhill for the Patriots, and it was not looking good. But in football, in sports, in life, you get knocked down. The question is, how do you get back up? And the Patriots, though it was ugly, they fought through, and they got the win. And that was huge. Again, sure, there was help from the missed PAT, but at the end of the day, I want to start with this about Drake May, because I know a lot of people are going to be frustrated and say he's holding on to the ball for too long, all these different things. I want to start on a positive note. And anyone who watches my show knows I'm a glass half full type of guy. That's just who I am. I'm not going to cheer for a team and just be negative. Not me. Not in my blood, baby. So this is what I want to say. That last drive by the Patriots, what was it, 3rd and 5, hits Hunter Henry, ends up winning the game. Ice in your veins in that moment. That's a tough moment. That's a tough, listen, is that a tough pass to make? No, but that you have to be poised. It could have went downhill real quick if they missed that. Then the Patriots or the Falcons turn around, they get a field goal, they win the game. John Parker Romo, he once was, could have been the villain, turned into the hero at the end of the game. But that did not happen. So again, Drake May had some rough moments in this game, but also had some great moments as well. Let us not forget that. They fought through, they were gritty. Now, as I said, what they showed us, and I will say this too about Mike Vrabel, is they showed us they can fight, they can persevere, and they can continue on. I think that's one of the biggest things we need to take from this win. Yes, there's some frustrating things. Yes, Kayshon Boutte. Yes, Christian Gonzalez, he got hurt. Drake London went off. All these different things. But when it comes down to it, the Patriots got the win. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, one of the things we talked about that was a necessity was they needed to contain Bijan Robinson on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what they did. They contained him. Now, Michael Penix, he had a solid game, but let's be honest. It was basically him and Drake London. Drake London had an unreal game. Unreal game. If you had him in fantasy, have mercy, ladies and gentlemen. Have mercy. Because he absolutely went off. And so I tip my hat to him. It was a good game by them. It seemed like there was times they were down and out, and then somehow, some way, he found Drake London, whether that was in the end zone one of the 3 times. I feel like on a quick out, whatever it might be, they had a great connection. Besides that, sure, Bijan had 50 yards receiving, but it was really Penix, London, Robinson. And for the most part, Robinson on the ground was contained. So that's what we needed to do. But what I said earlier, when we look at the drives, and that's what I want to jump into, we look at the drives, is when the Patriots really, I felt like it started going downhill, was when they had that fumble. They could have went into the half where they were up, 28-7. And instead, they went in 21-14. And that's where it just seemed like they kept continuously just shooting themselves in the foot. And us as fans are all just sitting there like, okay, they're going to pick it up here. They're going to pick it up here. And they never did. They scored a total of 3 points in the second half. It wasn't great. Drake May had the interception, and they ended up, the Falcons ended up getting that field goal and then ended up having that touchdown with the missed PAT. It was a sloppy second half. But how the game started, it started like, okay, the Patriots are about to open up a can, and at moments you thought that's what was going to happen, and it looked like that, especially with the Demario Douglas. He had that big reception as well as the touchdown. Stephon Diggs with the awesome, again, his knees, no problem. ACL, no problem. You see the cutting and the moving that he's doing. It's beautiful. You love to see it. But there was just some stupid mistakes, letting them in the game, and it killed us. And it could have been worse. But again, you got to fight through. You got to get the win. So in those drives, let's look at it real quick. Touchdown, first drive, beautiful. They get a touchdown, they tie it up, sweet. And then you go touchdown for the Patriots, 3 and out for them, touchdown. They go out on downs, turnover on downs, and then we fumble. That's where it was like, literally before the fumble, I was like, all right, here we go, baby. On the gas, foot on the gas. And then we couldn't, the field goal, instead of scoring a touchdown, we get a field goal that was rough, the interception, and then pun. We got to be able to finish games. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, we didn't have Kayshon Boutte. Let's go look at the stats real quick. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree, but he only had 1 target. And Kyle Williams, this brings up a whole different point, but Kyle Williams, if he is going to be the person to step up, depending on how long with the hamstring Kayshon Boutte's out, he needs to be better. So I think now, today's the 2nd, you have till the 4th at 4 p.m. I think depending on how bad the injury is for Kayshon Boutte, I truly think that the Patriots are going to be looking for wide receivers now. So it just all depends. How bad is it going to be moving forward? What do they need to do? So again, there was highs in this game. It started off like that, and then it went to some lows. But all through it, the Patriots fought and fought and fought. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of hard things to do in life, such as rocket science or tie your own shoes. On second thought, that's not too hard. But anyways, one of the easiest things you can do, and one of the easiest things I did, was team up with DraftKings. And I'm going to tell you what, we have a special offer for you. Super simple. New customers bet $5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. It's simple. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets. What is there not to love? And I'll tell you what, it's going to be worth it, and you're going to love it. And as I said, it's easy to do. So just download the DraftKings app and use code STP. Again, STP. Also, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or please read the description below. I again will tip my hat. I think a lot of people are going to point out, well, the offensive line for the Patriots. Yeah, there were some moments they had some bad. It was not good. It was not good. But I think a lot of times it was Drake May. It just seemed like he was holding the ball way too long. And then it was just almost like he was conceding the sack, and it was what it was. I will give Jalen Walker, the boy out of Georgia, he's good. He is good. There was a reason he was a first-round draft pick. And then Pierce, he was out of Tennessee. Those SEC boys, they know how to play. He was the one who recovered the fumble. He was actually a guy that I thought, if the Patriots in the late first, there was some mocks where they had them taking Pierce. And so the Falcons, I really think if they get some things together, they can be a great team. I mean, Drake London's great. Bijan Robinson's great. Penix, I don't think is as bad as I thought he was. They have the pieces. Can they put it together? But all in all, as I said, as I started this show, the Patriots showed their true colors, and those true colors being this: when adversity comes at them, when it slaps them in the face, they're able to fight. They're able to move forward, though ugly. No, not ideal. No, not the way they want to win it or fans want them to win it. They get through and they get the W. I think that is the biggest thing that we have to take out of this game. A win is a win. They move to 7-2. They'll move on. Hopefully, and let's say this. We have to remember Ramondre Stevenson did not play because of his toe. Kayshon Boutte, not a factor in this game either. So 2 big-time weapons for this Patriots offense not in there, and they're still able to get the win. And I want to go back to Terrell Jennings. Terrell Jennings came in and did what he needed to do. Had some good, strong runs, had the touchdown, was 1 of 1 on reception. Travion Henderson, he did well as well. Drake May, I wish he would have scrambled a little more, but it is what it is. I think they contained him pretty well, and obviously that shows as well by the sacks. But what are your thoughts out of this game? Again, I think as I said, true colors were shown, and I think moving forward, though this was a sloppy game, you can get a lot of good things out of it because there are going to be there's what 8 games left. 8 games left in the regular season. They're probably going to get hit in the mouth again like this. But hopefully again, the big thing is when they're up 21-7, they put their foot on the gas and they say see you later, and they don't even look in the rearview mirror. That's what we hope they do next time. That is what we hope they do next time. But again, I though it was a sloppy victory, we need to take the positive out of it. We need to take the positive out of it. And obviously tomorrow they'll move forward. Even today, they're going to move forward and assess, okay, what do we need to do at the wide receiver position with Kayshon Boutte as well? What's Ramondre Stevenson looking like? And you better believe too, Drake May he's gonna say, hey, I'm gonna clean up my act too when it comes to that fumble, when it comes to that interception. And it was cool, too, if you saw after his, I believe it was the interception, Mike Vrabel came over and talked to him. And, obviously you're not going to be happy turning the ball over to the other team, but they moved on. As Mike Vrabel has said, things happen, we move on. What is next? How do we advance? How do we move forward? That is how you build culture in a franchise. That is what you want to see. When adversity comes your way, how are the people next to you? How are you guys going to react? What are you going to do? So comment below. Would love to hear from you guys. I know I was at times kind of all over the place, but as I said earlier, Bijan Robinson for the most part contained. Drake May at times looked great in the air, at times looked rough. Especially when it was all those sacks with a good amount of them seemed like coverage. And we came out and said, the secondary, they've had some great games. They've had some bad games. I think at times today they did all right. They did, especially on those coverage sacks. So comment below. Tell me what you think. Moving forward, what do you see the Patriots doing? Do you think they look for a wide receiver? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts going into this next week? I would love to hear from you guys. So comment below. Go Pats. Enjoy the win, guys and gals. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the win. We'll talk later. Peace.